Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
All right, people. We are here. We're on the air again. Again.
Hello,
Hi.
people.
Hey, there we are. Good afternoon, good evening, or wherever you at. Here we are. I had to say something here. I got
Uh-oh.
to say something. And it's on my mind. It's on my mind.
Uh-oh.
I was listening to our favorite news person from MSNBC who got fired.
Jury.
And girlfriend is coming back strong as all get out. She is coming back. I'm telling you, she is. They done cut her loose, and she is turning out to be a power that they did not expect to happen so quick. She is getting interviews from very, very powerful people. She is out there opening her mouth. She is not constrained by MSNBC, and she has no fear in opening her mouth and saying what she got to say, and she's calling a spade a spade. I have to give girlfriend credit. Anyway, yesterday she did an interview with Governor of Maryland, Westmoreland. Westmoreland, not Moreland, Moore. And she asked Governor Moore about those Trump's threat to send troops to his state. And he emphatically says that he ain't bringing those troops to my state. Point blank. They ain't coming here. He's not bringing them here. And I'm not letting him do it. That sounds like it's a bold statement and stuff by a governor, Democratic governor, Black Democratic governor, that he made a statement like that. He bet he's not bringing troops here. But Joey pulled out her phone and said, check this out, Governor. And there was a picture of those troops and everything out there on the street. And it just so happened that the place where they was at, and for people out there who don't know what's going on, Maryland is right there by Washington, D.C. I mean, so close you can spit on it. Anyway, they were in some
That's
parts
why they
of,
call it DMV.
yep, that, and some parts of it is sitting over there in Maryland. And he had those troops were doing a thing in right across the border in an area called that was part of the state of Maryland. So she asked him, what's going on here? He said he ain't bringing no troops over here into the state of Maryland. He was very emphatic about it. And he did say that, well, there's some gray area there and stuff, everything where them no troops and stuff like that, but he is not bringing any over there to his state. Bold statement by the governor. But at the end of the show, she had a pretty good show, pretty good interview with the governor and everything. Man, Governor Westmore is a very, very powerful speaker. He speaks very straightforward. You can tell he's a straight shooter. He ain't one of them Anderas that we see out there. Anyone who knows about Black people, they understand what I mean by Anderas. Anyway, he got to the end, and Joy says, "I'm very proud of you and your family." That you've been on. He did a thing on Instagram about his family and what they did. And she asked him, and she said, "What makes you so different than the rest of the folks out there because you are and your family are so happy?" And he said something that stuck on my mind. And I want to explain it to you in just a second. He was happy. He said he is not going to let anything or anybody interfere with his happiness. He don't care what they do. He is not going to stop what he's doing because somebody out there is acting a damn fool. So I'm saying to you people, and here is my point here. We cannot let this man rent space in our head. And at some points in time, I've been guilty of letting that knucklehead on 1600 and Pennsylvania Avenue rent space in my head. He is no longer, I'm evicting him out of my head.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
You said sometimes he in your head all the time.
Sometimes he does that. Sometimes he rents a lot of space up there that he ain't paying rent. He ain't leasing nothing. He ain't paying, giving you no money. He just renting space up there. So I'm telling you people out there, stop letting this son of God rent space in your head. Let's be happy about what the heck going on, no matter what the heck is going on around us. Don't let that son of a gun take away some of your joy, because some of us folks and everything, that's the only thing that we got is Black joy. So,
well,
go ahead.
That's a good statement, but the joy of the Lord is my strength. And let me just tell you this. Old folks, we old too. I'm just telling you, they're coming for you. They have been coming for you for a while, but now they're really coming for you. You know, when BlackRock warns Republicans and Democrats are politicizing pension funds, you know we're in trouble. You know we're in trouble. Because what's happening is that BlackRock helps about 35 million retirees. They work that money. They're the biggest money people in the world. They manage something like $12 trillion.
A little bit more than that, Ted.
No, it's about 12 trillion.
A little bit more than that.
Well,
last time I heard,
have went up,
unless they lost some market share. Last time I looked at it, they were worth more than that. But go ahead.
So
anyway. A trillion here, a trillion there don't make any difference.
That's BS.
You know, a trillion here, a trillion there, you know, it makes no difference. Yeah.
But I just want to say this is that, you know, they raised I think it's going to go in effect in a few years. I think it's 67 retirement now.
62 is still retirement.
No, I'm just saying as far as getting your full, or 70 is your full Social Security.
Yeah, but most people, they used to say wait until then, but now they're saying take it at 62.
Yeah, well, that's what they're saying. But what I'm saying is it used to be a lot lower, and they raised it up.
65. It was 65, and they put it at 67 for
Okay, so now they raised it to 67. So here's the thing. I'm just talking about me.
Okay.
You shouldn't be working no more, tops 55, maybe 60. That's it. By the time from you 18 to 55, 60 years old, that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're working in the corporate world or you're working in, some type of manual labor, and manual labor could be being a plumber, being a carpenter, being an electrician. You always construction work, and allow these young people to take those jobs and train them up because you didn't put in your 20, 30, 40 years. Some of these people working up to 40 years should have retired 20 years ago. And these young people don't have nothing to do. Now, I'm not talking about that particular thing, but what my thing is that when they come for your retirement, meaning that it's he then open the door for these people to take your money. I'm talking about these money managers, that anybody can do it, and then you can put your money anywhere, and there's no guarantee. Now, BlackRock, the reason why they're upset is because they have a monopoly on these big time pension funds. So they want to. So what the Democrats and Republicans want to do is they want to break it up because obviously BlackRock is not giving them enough money. So they want to break that shit up. They want to try to limit their money that they deal with. Because when you're dealing with big pension funds and money is constantly streaming in, that's a big deal. Another thing I want to talk about is I want to go back to this thing. What they're talking about is the opportunity, with this Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, or vice versa, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae. So the opportunity for private credit firms, the mortgage space is going to be ridiculous. According to, they're going to be these firms, investment firms, Ellington and Management Group, they are getting ready when they do that IPO. They're coming for your homes. They're coming for your homes now. They're coming for your pensions. They're coming for your homes. They done already upgraded your Social Security. So I mean, and then also, they're coming for your property because they're raising property taxes, insurance, all of that stuff because they know. See, back in the '80s, they already figured out there was trillions of dollars to get. That's how come we had that 2008 mortgage fiasco. Now they have really come at you on this end now, because there's so many people have gotten wiser. Hey, I'm going to invest in my money. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to keep that in there where I have me a nice retirement. Well, they want that money. They want that money. You're talking trillions of dollars. And see, as a whole, a group of people, when you're talking about 30 million people, you're talking about another 20 million people over here. These people, us elderly people, the boomers, got money and money coming in all the time. Now, how do you stop that? I have no idea. How do you counteract that? I have no idea. But the one thing you got to do is you got to figure out some kind of way. We got to figure out some kind of way. How do you keep that money and transfer that money over to your children? Whatever money you get, I don't care if it's $100,000 or $100 million. But the point is that they coming for you, slowly but surely. They coming for you. Now, Ed, I'm just gonna say this. there is a real serious undercover of attacking the Democrats. Now, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. The
You
thing
told me you
is,
was. You told me you was when I told you I was
I'm a registered
independent.
Republican, but I vote
You was
Democrat.
a registered Republican.
I'm a
Okay, go ahead.
registered
You told me you was a
Republican, but I
Democrat,
vote
but
Democrat.
when I said I was an independent, you said I'm a Democrat. I was okay. Go ahead.
I'm
Anyway,
a registered Republican, but I vote Democrat because they are the better party in the long run. At least they allow black folks to get in office. That's the way I look at it. They got a big black
I
caucus.
see your boy and stuff is this is throw his name in the hat up. He's leaving Congress and stuff this next term, huh?
Who?
Your boy Donald.
Oh, for the governor?
No, he's leaving Congress. He said he's leaving Congress.
Well, he got a good retirement. Why shouldn't he?
I guess. But I see he left
Because
and everything.
he tired of being a coon.
But no, he still want to be a coon now because he's still trying to ease into that nomination for the governorship. But I
Well,
believe
he'll
they
jump.
done.
He'll jump.
I believe they have successfully knocked him out. But I don't believe he realizes that yet. He's still trying to suck up and everything to get that nomination for governor of Florida.
Well, here's the thing, though. You have these so-called religious black people who's getting these checks by they got it from the Bush administration. Now they're getting it from Trump administration. And they got all these initiatives for these nonprofit organizations for these churches. So when you're getting a check, so now you figure out I'm gonna grift. So a lot of these very smart black people, now they're not dumb, smart people, and they know how to articulate what the Democrats were about in a large degree. And nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes decisions that they think is the right decisions. Some of them were certain kinds of people. They always bring up Biden and they bring up Hillary Clinton, and because she was one time a Republican working on the Nixon administration and all that kind of stuff. But here's the thing: is that when you keep on dogging Democrats and letting people know, well, Kamala she wasn't voted in, she was chosen, that kind of stuff. And people that don't read and don't really do their own investigation, they start believing this stuff. Democrats ain't shit, you know. But they never say anything about what's going on with the Republicans and all the dirty crap they doing. Never talk about all the dirty crap they doing. And so they convince these people that, because they believe in, you shouldn't have abortions. They don't believe in gay rights. A lot of black people don't believe in those things. They want a war. They're sick of the drug culture. They sick. That's the reason why Trump already said that we're looking at getting rid of legalizing marijuana, because there's a lot of black people that don't want drugs, but then still a lot of them use it behind closed doors. They don't want this. They don't want that. They sick of they always talk about black folks having kids out of wedlock and all that kind of stuff. Their own people. So this is the thing that's going on now. Is very subtle, very communicated, very persuasive. But you're talking about behavior. People that use drugs, is a behavior issue. People that's out there making babies, that's a behavior issue. People that have abortions, that's a behavior issue. That's a choice issue as well. People that's doing this and doing that, all that stuff is behavior. That has nothing to do, and the white folks is doing it just as bad. But you don't hear them talking about the white folks when you're talking about food stamps or SNAP, whatever you want to call it, or welfare. Hey, it's already been said. Over 70% of white folks get some form of government assistance. And a lot of it is food stamps and Section 8. But they don't talk about that. They want to talk about the few little black folks that's getting it, 24% of black folks getting it. Don't be fooled by these stupid people. You know, there's always going to be people that's going to have hard times and not doing as well as others. That's a class issue. And then my thing is, it's always been taxation without representation. You don't invest in our communities. You don't invest in our communities. You put all your money in those suburbs and then all those white communities. And those corporations don't invest in our community, putting their major businesses in there. They will move their corporation out of a certain part of the black community and put it in a white community. So don't be fooled by these knuckleheads. The thing is that we as a people, we as a group or Americans totally have to lift ourselves own selves up because the government is not going to help you. You have to come together. That's all the people. You have to come together because they don't care about you, especially this administration, because they're going to do everything they can to cut everything. Look what happened to CDC over there in Atlanta. They walking out because they are about science and helping the people. Everything is just going to pot and people not even saying nothing about it. He's destroying all kind of shit. And they're just letting them do it. Something is wrong with this picture, bro. Something is wrong with this picture. He constantly, how you gonna charge UCLA $1 billion? For what? Now, $1 billion to Harvard ain't nothing. I mean, these people get millions and multi-millions and hundreds of millions of dollars donated to them every year. I'm just saying, you know, our government has been infiltrated by a bunch of not only religious fanatics, but they have been infiltrated by a number of, I'm just going to say it, white supremacists. And I'm praying that God give them a confused mind because they stupid. He didn't fire all kind of generals, people that's supposed to be protecting us. Generals are quitting. You got all those CD people, heads, the directors, and knowledgeable people quit. This stuff is crazy, man. And these people are allowing it. They go into courts and all that. But these people, y'all got to step up, the American people. And I see it in some of these town halls. But they got earplugs. They ain't even listening to the people. The people is telling them. So obviously they're not even concerned because they know they can cheat the vote, purge the vote, cheat the machines. Now, I heard he only spoke about it briefly, but he's raised Governor Newsom is raising money to protect, supposed to be protecting the voting machines and all of that. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'll tell you, man. This man is, we already know he's in Putin's butt. So I don't know what we're going to do. But like I said, as long as we got all these little coons out there that's getting paid or want to get paid by these Republicans or these white wing people, and they dogging all the Democrats is the only ones that's trying to stand up at least for the poor, the needy, you know. At least they're trying to stand up for some people. So I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, it's just crazy.
Well, you left some meat on the table here.
Well, go on with it, bro.
Yes, you left some meat on the table here. You left a little meat on the table. I'll get back to that meat you left on the table here when you were talking about BlackRock. I thought you didn't. I don't think you completely made the folks out there aware of what the implications of what BlackRock is trying to do. And you kind of left that and you went off to something else. So if you want to talk about that, you can right now. But if you don't, then there's some other things like that. But I think you left someone to meet on that table about that. I didn't quite understand the stuff, and I'm pretty sure that the people out there didn't quite understand the stuff, the implications of stuff of what BlackRock is trying to do. You spoke about the pensions and everything, but I don't know how BlackRock and teachers' pensions and pensions for different public service employees and stuff had to do with what BlackRock is trying to do. If you can explain that, I didn't get that connect
Well, the
there.
thing is about they are allowing, opening up the doors for these people to individually do their own thing with their money.
Who's doing that?
This is the thing that they're opening up to these to each individual. So, like,
Who
if
is
you
but who is opening this thing up? Is this
the
BlackRock
government,
or the
the government,
oh, you mean the federal government, the state government, or what? Or local?
the government is allowing. 401k has rules.
Right.
They have stipulations and what have you. So, so a lot of these people might invest in BlackRock. Their shares. They might do an ETS or ET or whatever you call it, and then
Now
they,
now now
and
these
then. But
people
the
that
thing is, these people can individually do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it, and then they can lose money greatly because they don't
no,
know what they're doing. They don't know what They put some money in there and then they try to get it out, and they say, "I want to save it." By that time, because you're a ETS, and it takes a while before you can get your money. You get 100,000. Let's say you got $1 million in your 401k, and you might have $100,000 invested into BlackRock ETS, ETE, or whatever it is, and then they go and they say, "Well, I want to transfer that money," and that might take time before that can happen. By that time, boom, you done lost money.
now you didn't quite. I didn't quite understand who is they.
What you mean?
You said in,
The
they
regular,
they allowing
the regular
individuals.
investor,
So they allowing individuals, but who are the individuals? Are these the
the
individual companies?
individuals is the
This
investors that put in their 401k
listen. These
or
these
their
are
retirement.
these are the employees who are
Yeah, the
putting their money
employees. Yeah,
into their retirement. So
yeah.
now what's happening is that they're allowing. Well, they've always done that. you do have some control and stuff over where your money goes into your 401k. And a lot of times you don't even know what these companies and stuff that they are empowering and stuff to take your money, because you might be in man, I can't think of, but there's about three or four different
Well,
organizations out
some
there
of them have different fees. They have
who are
different
in charge
fees,
of that, and they
charges,
don't.
and all that.
And your 401k is sitting in a fund, and that fund is being invested by these powerful money groups. And some of these powerful money groups might be BlackRock, or BlackRock might own the conglomerate and stuff who is controlling your money.
Yeah, and they might own mutual funds. They may own regular,
Insurance things, or they
yeah,
investing
all
their
that.
money in Apple, or they investing their money in, as a group, they're investing their money in different entities.
Well, let me
So,
just say this, and I'm gonna say this, and I try to keep things real simple
well,
because
that's what I want to know, because that was what
no,
you were saying
because if you go into
is
if you
confusing.
it gets really boring. But the thing is, it's up to each individual to do their own research. I want to stipulate that. I am not a financial advisor. I'm a person that keeps up with finance and the stocks and all that. The point is, it's up to you as an individual to look at and do your own research. The point is that you have to look out and make sure you don't get duped as an individual, because you are responsible for your own retirement, for your own investments. It used to be that you could put your money in a CD, or you can put your money even in savings, and you would get a nice return, 5, 6, 7%. At one time, you can, from savings, you can get a 10%. Now, the only way that your money is going to grow, you ever heard of the 721, where you invest your money every 7 years, your money should double. So the point is, now those things don't happen. The only way your money can double or possibly triple or whatever is that you invest in the stock market. They don't give you no interest in the banks no more. So now you got to figure out, how can your money grow? Well, there's only two ways. I mean, really three ways if you got a good business, but the other two ways is invest in stocks or invest in real estate. And neither one of those are guaranteed. The one thing about the bank, it was guaranteed. If they tell you they're gonna give you 5%, and you put $10,000 in there, you're gonna get 5%.
That you misunderstanding what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that a lot of people who are investing their money, they work at a company, say General Motors, or they work at Ford, or they work at some plant or whatever, and they have a 401k plan. So what people are doing and stuff is that they are taking a percentage of their income that they get every week, or every 2 weeks, every month, however they get paid, and they're putting that money into a 401k plan. Now, I don't think most people understand sometimes and stuff where that money and stuff is going to, or where their pension money or their 401k money is going into. All they know is that it's going into their company's 401k plan, but they have no idea and stuff and everything where or who that these people, that because the company is not taking the money and investing it, the company and stuff is putting it into a fund and stuff that someone else controls. Correct?
Well,
I'm asking you a question. Correct.
I'm
That's what
not
I'm trying to
gonna
understand.
Ed,
That's what I'm
Ed,
trying to
Ed,
understand. I'm trying to
Ed,
understand
Ed,
this.
Ed. I'm not gonna give somebody or these people
I'm not
how
telling
their
you to give.
401k
I'm not
works.
asking
I'm just
for. I'm
saying,
not saying
check your when
for.
you invest in your own, when you invest
I'm not
individually,
asking for
when you
what they
invest
want to
individually,
invest in.
make
All I'm
make sure that
saying
you read the
is
fine print
where
to make sure you know what you're doing.
I'm
I'm telling you,
saying.
there are laws
I'm
that's being
asking a
changed.
question
That's
about
all I'm saying.
where. I'm
I'm
asking
not
a
giving nobody
question.
no. No, I'm not doing
I'm
that.
not. You're not doing giving people any financial advice. All I'm saying is that their money goes into here and it goes into there and it goes into a group. I'm not telling you asking people and stuff to tell them, well, you need to invest your money in this company or you need to invest your money in that company. They need to know where their money and stuff is going to. These people are in control of your funds, of your 401k money. But you have the opportunity and stuff, if you don't like where they are sending your money to and everything, that you can take your money out and you can self-invest it and stuff into something else. They have the opportunity to do that. And I'm not saying to you, and ain't nobody else on this program telling you how to invest your money. We just letting you know where your money and stuff is going to and everything, and watch to see what's going on with it. See
Only
if
thing
you
I'm
like
doing is
where it's
telling you
going.
to watch look at the
That's all
changes,
we're saying.
watch
That's
the
all I'm trying to
laws,
say is
watch
that
the
watch
laws,
where it's
and
going
read the
to.
fine print.
Understand where it's going to, and that you have a right to decide where your money is going to. That opportunity is there for you to take if you don't like what's going on. If you find some other kind of way that you want to do, or somebody come to you with a better wheel and stuff and everything, or a better shoe, then that's fine, and you can invest your money into that better shoe. That is your opportunity to do that. I'm not saying to them you need to invest in this or you need to invest into that. No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that individually as an employee, if you invest in the 401k plan, know where your money going to. That's it. If you like it going to where they done, or you okay with it, or you don't want the hassles and stuff and everything, or telling them where to put your money at, that's fine. But there are some people out there who like to know where their money going to. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, there was some meat left there, and I don't think people understood that because I know I didn't. Anyway, CDC brought that up. There is some things going on, people, in our Center for Disease and Control. The Center for Disease and Control here in the United States and everything has tentacles all over our country and all over the world.
The world.
Anytime that there is any rare disease that's going on, our Center for Disease and Control is being notified about that disease that is going on out there. Each hospital, if anything happens and stuff out there, and you walk into the hospital and the hospital sees or don't know exactly what the heck is wrong with you or what kind of virus or whatever it was that you have obtained, they have access to data and stuff from the Center for Disease and Control. And the Center for Disease and Control and everything is vital, a vital health organization and stuff that was created and stuff for this country. It was created for a reason, and it was a very valuable reason. They were intricately involved in this COVID crisis that killed over 1 million people in this country. We have, since January of this year, a person who is in charge of this country who has decided that this Center for Disease and Control is no longer important, which is a huge mistake. And people need to understand that. And that is the reason where we're getting to at this point where there are directors and stuff of each individual department that is in control of these different diseases that are out there decided that they want to leave that organization because they feel that their PhDs and all the other work they have done to get themselves to the point to where they are qualified to be a director of an important health issues that's going on in this country and the world that they value is not being taken, that their knowledge and stuff as professionals and stuff in that field is being devalued by someone out there who does not believe in a virus, who does not believe that people should be vaccinated. And we know they should be vaccinated because we are seeing right now some of those diseases, people that were eradicated, like measles, were eradicated during our youth in our lifetime. It was completely eradicated. Now it's coming back. Why is it coming back? But our director and stuff of the CDC, who is in charge of the CDC and all of our health and everything, is an absolute nut. And if any one of you all have ever seen him in those Congress or whatever and talking or saying anything, would understand that he ain't the kind of person and stuff that I want to go to and everything for my health. He would be the last person I would go to. I would call Rex, my dog, and say, hey, what do you want me to do, Rex? And he would bark and everything, and that's about as good as he is, because the dog probably is better. Anyway, because he is not listening to them. And this has got to be the stupidest thing in the world that we have going on. That this man and Donald Trump, he's involved with this stuff, is telling the American people that they do not need to be vaccinated for the COVID. And we just finished trying to get everybody through this COVID crisis. Now, all of a sudden, we do not need to be vaccinated. COVID has not gone away, people. It is still out there. So, because of what these folks have said, and they keep trying to tell these people and stuff who was in those cabinets and stuff, these things that you guys are doing, it is not good for our health industry. And what we're doing and everything in the CDC is being devalued. When you find out that you are a PhD and you've done all the work you can in communicable diseases or whatever, and you got some knucklehead that was sitting down that has no idea what the hell he's doing, and he's telling you what you can and you cannot do as far as being as medical advice, that's like me going to my doctor and telling him, well, there's nothing wrong with me, but I'm sick, I'm coughing, but don't worry about it and everything. I'm okay. Well, you don't know what you talking about. He's an expert. That's why you go and pay your doctor to tell you what the heck is wrong with you. Well, because of this, people, these directors are leaving the CDC. And it is going to be a monster. We have lost our lifeline to any kind of diseases and stuff that is coming on in this country, because there are a lot of diseases, people going on around the world, that we need to have people out there doing research for, to find out how we can eradicate these diseases and these germs that are incorporating us. And a lot of time, what's going on is that as we get rid of these diseases, when they come back a heck of a lot stronger. So that means that you're going to have some medicine or some antibiotics that's a little bit stronger than what you had when it first came on the scene.
Well, I'm going to say this. You know, we heard of Ebola. And we remember that incident when those two people, at least one person, one black person, came over from another country and had Ebola. He ended up dying. The other one was kept alive. President Obama, went and sent out a bunch of people out there and stopped it from coming over here to spread. He set up a playbook, had all of these smart people that's in medicine, disease prevention, and all that, set up a playbook to that to guard the American people to not bring in these different kinds of diseases. The question, here's the thing that I look at like this. We have had so many different kind of ethnic kind of people come all over the world, from every country that you can name, and they bring those diseases here that they never even heard of. That, you remember the SCARS academic? You could be sitting down in bench and end up getting scars. There were football players that was getting it. They didn't even know whether it's some type of disease because these people in other parts of the world, they eat all kind of shit. They eat all kind of stuff. They mingle with all kind of fertilizer and different kinds of fruits and all that stuff, leaves, and they some of them live in jungles or whatever, tropical areas, and they bring that disease here. And that's why the CDC is so important. They bring animals here. So we have to have that
and
protection to
and
stop
and and that is
stop
one
all
of
this.
and the director of that department that deals with diseases that comes from animals to humans, she left. She decided to put in her resignation. She said, I'm not going to do this because we know that the COVID disease and stuff came from animals and it came to human beings. Like the bird flu, it came from the birds and stuff, and now it's coming to the humans. So the lady who was in charge of that, the whole area and stuff and everything says, well, I got to go here because I need to uh, do some research and everything. And people over in Europe and stuff, they got a big, almost a $1 billion fund that they have set aside for all the experts here in our country to come over there and do their research and everything, and they will give them money or whatever they need and everything to keep their research and stuff going because at least the Europeans understand that this is an important research that has to be done as far as our health. People, we cannot let them destroy the CDC. It is a valuable organization, and nobody is standing up for these people over there at the CDC. You have to stand up for them because, as Ted was saying, there are people who come into this country. We have immigrants who come here. We don't know what they're bringing here, and sometimes what happens is that they'll get sick. They'll go to the hospital. Okay, if there is no Center for Disease and Control, nobody in that hospital would be able to call up Center for Disease and Control and say, we have someone here that has some kind of disease that we have no idea what it is. Well, the CDC and stuff, because they have tentacles in every hospital in the country, in the world, can be able to tell the doctors at those hospitals, okay, we need to put these people and stuff in quarantine until we find out what's going on.
And
But
they
if there's
go into their
nobody,
labs.
and if
They
there's
go into their
nobody there
labs
to
and they look
tell
at
them what to do, they don't want to put them in there into quarantine, and that disease can start spreading. Or if it happens in one hospital and then it happens in another hospital in Texas or happens in another hospital in the state of Washington, they have chemicals out there, and that data is being kept right here in Atlanta in the CDC.
But here's the thing. That organization has been around since 1946, 79 years. And the thing is that their budget is less than $12 billion. Man, they throw that shit away, $12 billion, they throw that shit away like it ain't nothing. $12 billion. Now, yeah, some of those people making, a nice little check, but hey, it's probably well deserved because a lot of them are medical doctors, PhDs in chemistry and all kinds of scientists. And they doing that lab work.
And they are experts in that field.
And are all of
Speaking,
them, perfect? No, they ain't perfect. But the thing is, that's what scientists is. You gotta have evidence in order to find out to see if this particular thing works to eradicate this, whatever it is.
and
And
we
and
just,
y'all
we
just
just,
standing around, people, the American people just standing around, just letting them just destroy every damn safeguard we got.
and we safeguard. And speaking about the money, and you considering that $12 billion is their budget, well, we just threw away $450 million
Right here in Florida.
right here in Florida. That Alligator Alley shit that he did, they shut it down. They spent $450 million, people, creating Alligator Alley.
Somebody made a lot of money.
$450 million, people. Did you hear that? They could have put that money into the CDC and
No, they
kept
could
them
have put
some
that money
research
in the black
people.
community.
They could have did that, but they throwing away money in other areas that's not helping the country and stuff. But they letting valuable entities and stuff go away like this. This is unreal here. This is stupidity. That's what I call it. It's idiotic, and that's
Well,
what they are.
here's the thing. When you got 10% of the people, multimillionaires, billionaires, they already got their private doctors, they got their personal cooks, they know how to get their fresh food, they know how to do all that. They all set, bro. They ain't worried about it. They don't care about you American people, whether your food is fresh. That's why they got all the preservatives in all our food now. People won't even buy stuff that we even farm because they use too many doggone insecticides and everything else. Don't take care of the ground. Somebody has to be accountable for this shit, and these doggone Republicans will not allow this stuff to come to the table. That's why they do a whole lot of, stopping all these people from deteriorating the country. Because all these people want to do is monetize everything, just like they're getting ready to monetize what we was just talking about earlier.
Well, people, there are folks outside these borders who understand what the people in this country is going through. But a lot of them are refusing now to even talk to this idiot over there in the White House. He put a 50% tariff, people, on India. So India says, forget you. We're going to go and find somebody else to trade with. Well, now, after he had put out and told people that we're going to be trading with India, India telling him to kick rocks, people. And he done called and now after India told him to kick rocks, he's calling them up and begging them to come back to the negotiation tables. And India said, kick rocks, Trump. We ain't coming nowhere. Matter of fact, they ghosting him. He done called 4 times and they ain't answer his call. Here's how these people are. The Japanese delegation, who's supposed to have came back to this country. We trade very deeply, people, with Japan. We sell a lot of stuff to that country. A lot of stuff. We export a lot to Japan. It's a small country, people, and they get their stuff from import. They have to import, so they are export partners. Well, they're supposed to be coming back to the table to talk, and the Japanese congregation, trade people and stuff, told them, we canceling our trade talks here with you all because every time we come and sit down to the table with you all go out and tell people that we got agreement with you all and we got stuff going on, and you're telling these folks a damn lie. So they're not coming over here and messing with him. South Korea came here this past week, sat down at the table with the Donald Trump to try to negotiate with him and everything. And that Negro, and I'm calling him a Negro because he is, he's a Niger. He sat down there at the table and didn't even talk about trade. Embarrassed the South Korean delegation. He embarrassed them people. They ain't coming back either.
And South Korean is doing very well for themselves.
They are doing very well. And they do need the United States and stuff to help them in their military things. They do need the United States and stuff to buy their chips that are coming out of their country because we need those chips and stuff in our country for our data centers and stuff that we are building now. The billions and billions of dollars that we're putting into AI, those chips, some of those chips are coming from South Korea, people. And they want to sell them to us. But they can't do that when they got a fool sitting up there in the daggone White House that has no idea what the hell he is doing. He's threatening people. He's turning around here telling folks we ain't going to do anything with you. He done told India because they buy oil from Russia, they going to jump their tariffs up to 50%. Now, they're buying oil from Russia, but he can sit up there and go to Alaska and put our troops on their knees to put out a red carpet for Putin. But India can't buy oil from them. What kind of crap and sense does that make? If I'm sitting over there and I'm the people in the country of India and I see this stuff going on, what he done, but he can tell me that I can't buy oil from these people? They ain't on their knees, folks, like we are. They ain't sit down there patting him all up, letting him ride in the beast and stuff and everything, and treating him just like a raw dignitary. They not doing that. All they're doing is buying oil to keep their people and stuff with oil inside their country so they can keep their folks warm, have fires and stuff in there so they can feed their families and everything. He's sitting over there and everything on his daggone knees, putting our military on their knees. People, this ain't right. I don't blame India. I wouldn't come over here and say a damn thing to him either. Brazil, same thing. He threatened them 50% tariff here. And now Brazil said, okay, fine. We're going to go trade with China. We're going to become a part of the BRICS nation. Their whole community there is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. He's driving these folks to
See, I don't know
China.
if you know about Brazil. Brazil is becoming a big time cattle conglomerate. And a lot of our cattle was being bought from Brazil, our meats. And the Texans were upset about it. And the thing is that I think it was some politics going on. And so that's the thing that's going on right now with Texas and Brazil because they make some good meat, according to what I've read.
And
And a
also
lot of people been
Australia.
buying
Also
that Brazilian
Australia
meat.
makes some damn. Australia has some damn good meat and everything that people are buying, and they try to be. We buy some of our beef from Australia. That waggle beef and everything. It comes from Australia. That stuff and everything is damn near $20-$30 a pound. I don't know what's about it, but that's just that name on it. Anyway, people, we come to the end of our show here and everything, and I wanted to say something earlier, but I guess we out of time here because this is
Well, I got a
there's
final word. I'm
it's
going to just say
so
this
much
here.
stuff going on here. Go ahead.
You know, the SBA, and I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just putting it out there because I'm doing the research on it now. Small Business Administration has ordered more than 5,000. When they say 5,000, they're probably doing 10,000 lenders in his network to immediately end what they call politicizing or unlawfully banking practices. Now, what that means is that, in other words, you can go back to your money laundering because this is what's happening. I'm telling you, because this is an order by the president. So he gonna make these little local banks and these mid-sized banks to take their money so that they can get big loans. They bring in 20, 30, or a couple of million or whatever. This is the game they play, bro. This is all about his little mafia game to spread that money laundering around into these different banks. At first, they shut them down. The big banks were shutting them down. The small banks were shutting them down.
Well, people, we I figured out what I wanted to tell y'all. I better tell you all now before I forget about it. I hope some of you guys remember back in February of this year, we had the Ukraine president come to the White House and they set that man down beside Donald Trump and beat him in the ground. Well, people, while they were doing that, Trump has set up a coup to get this man out of his job. He tried to set in place a coup to make him lose his job as the president of Ukraine. Come to find out, the guy that they had set up to put him in power to take over hated the United States and Russia. And the man told him after they tried to get him to do it, to kiss his behind because he ain't doing shit. Excuse my French, people, but that tell you how stupid these people are over there in the daggone White House. They sent spies to Iceland, because they wanted to take over that daggone country. Spies to sit there, to put them in there to tell these folks in Iceland and stuff that they need to allow the United States to own them. When Denmark found out about it and stuff, they got mad and called up the UN, the U.S. ambassador and stuff, and told them if they don't get them spies out of their country, it's going to be a international mess. Our people ain't shit. They don't even know how to negotiate international affairs. I'm sorry, people.
They ain't trying to negotiate, bro. They trying to take over.
They tried to take over. They wanted to take over them people. They wanted to change leadership. They wanted to disrupt this whole world order. The United States won, but they're not even smart enough to figure out how to do it. See you guys tomorrow, people. Have a good day.